hour. I am today in my let's see, I'm in my what is this? Daddy Shark. It's a present for my kids from the last Father's Day. And I haven't worn it since last year. So I what kind of father am I if I wait an entire year and not wear my Daddy Shark t-shirt for my kids? Hey Jillian, great to see you. How are you?
Doing splendidly. Glad to see everybody today.
Well, I'm excited to have you guys on here. I'm going to share some really cool things. Jillian, I see that you've been doing a lot of things on LinkedIn lately, right?
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna show you some things that have been working really well. I've been determined, and I think in the newsletter, what I sent out to everybody with this one, I sent a video for you to watch. It is going viral on different posts, and I've gone viral on all kinds of different platforms, everything from TikTok to YouTube to, I guess to a certain extent, about 100,000 views and thousands of comments on X, Twitter, but I've never gone viral on LinkedIn. So I am obsessed with LinkedIn, not just because I need to go viral for virality's sake. I'm getting all kinds of leads from LinkedIn. And I think that's what we're supposed to be doing it for anyways, right? I mean, what are you guys doing LinkedIn for? Maybe if you're doing it for your ego to go viral, good for you. But I'd love to know what your goals are and why you're using LinkedIn, if you're using it, and if not, why not? Please share with me what some of the things that you're doing on LinkedIn.
It's all about building your network to grow your net worth.
There you
And
go.
we do that on LinkedIn.
You do. I've been seeing some of the stuff that you've been doing. It's very cool. I what's really crazy about LinkedIn to me, and the reason why I'm going to talk about it today, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks that have been getting me these great leads. In the newsletter that I sent out, I talked a little bit about making an article or a post go viral. So I was much more broad. I encourage you to watch that video and even look at some of the videos or posts of mine that have done extremely well. And the thing that I like most, and frankly, it's the two platforms that I don't get massive engagement on. I love YouTube. I'm getting leads from YouTube, but more than anything, I love LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is so slow. It is so slow. It is painfully slow. Does anybody have any other? I mean, you can tell me if I'm wrong, and you say, "Well, why do you like it, Jeff?" I'm certainly not a guy for slowness, but why would you guess that? Why would anybody guess then with what you know about me? Why I would be so in love with what LinkedIn is doing? Your
Because
comments are
that's
valid.
how you get a really good pasta sauce. It cooks all day.
So that's why, Jillian, it's your southern charm that when you come on here and you give me the southern charm of a pasta sauce that cooks all day to get you these great things. So, all right, let's go with that. Let's talk about this slow cooking process of LinkedIn. But I'm first going to encourage you one more time, take a look at some of what I did in this week's video on YouTube. And my YouTube's just my name, youtube.com/Jeffrey, JEFFERYBOYLE. Take a look at it. And every week I'm putting the videos out there. And one of the main things that I think a lot of people output a lot of content, and then they want the thrill of going viral. I had this really wonderful new customer that I was onboarding today, and one of the things that she talked about is that for a while she was posting with regularity on the LinkedIn, and then she got about 700,000 views on one of her posts. And anybody that knows anything about LinkedIn, once again, I'll talk a little bit about that today. How big of a deal is that to get about 700,000 views and thousands of likes and comments and interactions on LinkedIn? It's a big deal. It's a big deal. So on, for example, YouTube, it's not that big of a deal, to hit 10,000 views. It's not that big. I've had a lot of shorts that have gone extremely well. I've had some other videos. I used to have another channel that with regularity I would post a lot of different conglomerations of what other people did. It would regularly get 4 or 500,000 views. I don't use that anymore because it wasn't branded, and I actually sold it with one of my businesses. And the thing is that there you can get a lot of views on YouTube using different things. But when I'm just doing pure instructionals, it's taking time to build it up. But I regularly get 150, 200, and they just continue to add up. On my Instagram, I'll get 20, 30,000 views almost every time that I do a video on there. And the point is none of them work for me as well as LinkedIn, and it's slow sauce approach. And I get a lot of business. And so what I want to talk to you about today is not so much the idea of just going viral with a single post. It's the idea of creating predictability instead of just creating a bunch of views the first time you do it. So I'm going to show you a couple things here, and this is kind of I work with a LinkedIn professional, and she gave me her LinkedIn secret sauce, and I want to encourage you to take this seriously and to start to implement some of these things that I'm going to show you, because it will make a difference. I was spending, and I see that my wife just popped on to one of the channels that I'm going here, and we spent enough on advertising between mid 2023 and mid 2024 to buy a Ford Raptor. Does anybody know how much a Ford Raptor costs, a new one? Come on, somebody give me feedback on that. Does anybody know how much a Ford Rap maybe I love Ford Raptors because I
$1 million.
not quite $1 million. Jillian, gosh, I miss you. Thanks for coming on. It's about 100 grand. 100 grand for a pickup truck. I mean, come on. What idiot spends $100,000 on a pickup truck? All right, I did. I loved it. It made me really happy. But I spent enough money on 2023 to mid 2024 before I finally said, enough. The return on ad spend was killing me. I was spending so much money on it that I just thought, how in the world do I justify continuing to spend that much money on advertising? I said there has to be a better way. So I've been obsessed since the end of 2024 and this year is tracking down and paying some of the best people on LinkedIn. And I admittedly have never gone admittedly never gone viral on there, but with my measly 50, 100, 150 view articles, and what I'm going to show you right here, and what I continue to do with Bemodo, I've replaced I've replaced 80% of my ad spend. So I've gone from $8,000, well under $2,000 per month of my ad spend by doing what I'm going to show you so far. And anybody who's a pro, I encourage you to tell me where I am missing and what I'm doing, because I'm going to get better and better and better. And if I've replaced $6,000 with advertising with my strategy that I'm going to show you right here, how much better am I going to be as you continue to give me my feedback? Give me your feedback. So please do. Jillian, you're dying to tell me something.
Well, I'm just going to say, because I mean, I'm 29 and you're a few years over 29. Um,
Wait a minute. Okay. Go ahead.
I am so thrilled that you've jumped on the LinkedIn bandwagon,
Yeah.
because you've been this little grump about it. And I've talked about you behind your back. I'm like, why is he such a grump pants about LinkedIn? It is where it's at. So I'm here for you today.
All
I can't
right.
wait.
See, it was fortuitous that she came in, and I'll comment on her stuff, but I for the last 3 months have just been committed. I've been committed to LinkedIn and getting better and better and better at it. And so let me encourage you to do a couple things. Number 1, determine your social selling index, your SSI score on LinkedIn. And if anybody knows what that is, go ahead and put it inside the go ahead and put that inside of the go ahead and put that inside of the chats as I'm multitasking here. Uh, does anybody know what the SSI score is for LinkedIn? For LinkedIn. Oh my gosh, did I stump Jillian on the SSI score? It's everything. Those of you who are living in the United States, the SSI score for LinkedIn is almost like your credit score in the United States to buy a car, to buy a house, to anything like that. It's really easy to find. So I'll show you mine. Mine's right here. And I got to get mine above 80%. Why 80%? Because look, so right now I rank in the top 1% of my network SSI score compared to other people and the industry SSI score, but I got to get it better. So typically people in my industry are about 36 out of 100. I mean, I've doubled them. I mean, that makes me super special, right? I mean, somebody give me an applause. Heidi, good to have you here. Come on, just tell me how cool I am that I've lapped my industry, that I've got a 36. They typically get 36 and I get a 74. Well, I'm trying harder than they are. So, anyways, next one, people in my network. This one I'm not as proud about because that means that I've got to improve my network. But compared to the people that I network with, and I have some really cool people in here. Some of the people on this phone are probably much higher than this. It's really easy to find. All you've got to do is go into YouTube, or sorry, into just type in SSI LinkedIn, and you're going to find it. It's the first thing that you're going to see, the social selling index. Boom. And I just need to go to get my score, and it's going to show me where it's at. Now, the reason why I show you this first, look, we all want to go viral, but where are you going to send them if you're not? You got to send them someplace. And so that's why I really encourage these other steps that I'm going to take you through. You really want to get an 80, but you should not, you should be really, really careful if you are below a 60 before you use things like the sales navigator. Okay. Be really careful because if you have a low score, you're going to see that they're going to constantly be checking you, and it will really affect a lot of what you're doing. Step 2, step 2, strongly encourage when you're writing articles and you're trying to go viral, I really, really, really encourage that you know exactly what your target market is. And I'm not just saying, for example, Jillian, you can weigh in on this one because you've been so helpful so far. Why is it so important to determine your target market, not just on LinkedIn, but all of the marketing you do for your clients?
You have to meet them where they are and speak in a brand voice they can understand.
Yes. Well stated. And one of the best ways to do that, if you go into if you go into Bemodo right here and you go under templates, let's go back to what the way you'll see. All you've got to do is go to Avatar Trainer. And the step 1 is will help you precisely define your sub niche. Now, with LinkedIn, and LinkedIn's great because you have a certain amount of in messages that you can send to people in mail messages, and you get 800 of them. And if a person does not respond to you, it checks off those one of those 800. And depending on your SSI score, especially if you're below 60, it will determine how many in mail messages that you can send per day. I'd love to be able to tell you exactly how many, but you have to be really careful if you have below a 60. That's like having a really bad credit score and trying to go and buy a Ford Raptor. It's not gonna work out. Okay. And once again, um, it's really important that you know that what your goal is to be able to get that score up. So let's go back at the score. So I've got a 25 out of 25. I'm an A student with building relationships. Okay. I'm an A student, but I'm doing poorly, only a 13 out of 25. That's barely a passing grade. And I I got straight A's through high school and mostly through college. Now law school, I decided to work full time and I didn't get straight A's there. I was a little bit embarrassed looking back on that. But I got to get an A here, right? That means I've got to do a better job of discovering worthy updates to grow my relationships. So I've only been, as Jillian pointed out painfully at the beginning of this, I was poo-pooing Instagram, and all of a sudden I'm getting all these wonderful leads from it. I'm working less and I'm getting better leads, and oh my goodness, that's the life, right? But more importantly, I'm not spending that $6,000 a month that could easily go towards my next Ford Raptor. So I've got to do better with that. Finding the right people. We're going to go through some of that in the future. But what it comes down to is you have to define your sub niche. You have to know exactly what your target market is. You have to know exactly who you're talking to. And if you talk to everybody, it means you're actually talking to nobody. Nobody's going to listen if you're going too broad. And a lot of times when we're doing marketing, especially on LinkedIn, you think, I'm going to talk to everybody. Well, that's a surefire way to not have anybody interested in what you're selling. So you have to determine your target market, and Bemodo's avatar trainer will help you determine a very, very specific niche, the pain points. So if you follow this through, step two will determine their pain points. Step three will determine their secret desires. These three steps right here will help you know your sub niche, a very specific sub niche, know what they want, and know what their problems are and how to solve them. Super, super important, right? So those first three steps will really help you as you're engaging, influencing, and converting. The next one is you must really know what your offer is. Anybody, why do you have to know your offer if you're spending all of this time writing articles, doing posts, doing videos? Why do you have to know your offer? This is where I do the awkward silence. I know you guys know it. Why do you have to know your offer? This is where you put it in the chat. This is where you give it to me. Why do you have to know your offer? All right, Jillian, I'm going to call on the star pupil today. Why? Why?
Because when you don't have your offer and it's just this sloppy slur of words, your customers have no idea if you're selling a circle or just something that's round. You got to get it sorted.
Dang, sloppy slurpy. Goodness sakes, you should just come and do every one of these with me. That is cool. I can see why you get so many customers. I mean, that's just clearly it. You have to articulate your offer, and on when you optimize your profile, you're going to have that offer on there. So in the next step right here, step 4, you're going to do a company overview, which is super important. But step 5, if you don't have an offer, it will evaluate your customer profile for you and recommend some offers. I mean, that's cool, right? Step 5 will help you do that. Sorry. Step 5 is your brand voice. It's step 6 that gives you an offer and then tells you what pillars can support it. What it gives credibility to that offer. So in steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, if you follow that, you're going to see that it's going to help you so much with right here engaging, influencing, and converting. And super important, improving that SSI index. I mean, I think it's 1%. I'm in the top 1%. I mean, that's how cool I am. But I need to be in the top 1% of my 1%, and I need to go viral. I'm obsessed with doing it. And look, I'm getting all these leads when I'm getting like 100 people going to 100 views on my articles with like 3 engagements, and one of them's always David. David's best brother in the world. I mean, so cool of him. He always comments really nicely on there. What would happen if I went viral and consistently did this by mastering this dad burn slow, slow moving molasses sweet, and they're very rarely are people mean on this one. So if you're trying to protect your ego, go on this one, and people are really nice to you for the most part. If you want to feel bad about yourself, go to X, and people will tell you that you're the dumbest person on the planet. I mean, it, there was so little action with it in the beginning. I thought this can't be good. But then the leads come in. I'll say it again. Then the leads come in, and I'm working less, and I'm not spending all this money. It's like, come on, that is what we're looking for, right? So one of the things that you can do if you search for the Bemodo template LinkedIn bio summary writer, it'll actually even help you write your bio and summary better. Really, really encourage you to take a look at that one. It's going to help you out a lot as you go through that. Okay. So the next one is post consistently. I post so consistently now, and like I said, it's not like I'm killing it with all the views in it, but it hasn't impacted at all how I'm getting leads. So let's go example right here. One of the most important things to a LinkedIn article or post is what? This is the chance. Come on. I feel like Jillian is like me at law school. I couldn't not talk, and you're gonna have to do it again. At law school, I'd always, before going to class, I'd say to my wife, I'm like, I'm not gonna talk today. And then there would be this awkward silence, and finally, like, fine, I'll talk. Of course, my professor would purposely provoke me so I would talk. I think he enjoyed the banter with that dumb Boyle guy. And pretty soon we were doing it. What is the most important part of any article, any video, anything that we're doing? All right, Jillian, you're up.
I'm going to go with something personal, something that the audience can connect with.
Absolutely. And that comes in the headline. And so what this one will do is it will give you 20 really cool headlines really quickly. So I'm just going to grab when I was doing my X my X tweets today. So I'm just going to put on here. I'm under Bemodo marketing. All I have to do is see my avatar reference files, company name, it already knows it. I'll put Bemodo AI, article ideas. I'm going to cop out. I've trained this avatar so well. I'm going to say, see my files and give me ideas. I don't even have to think anymore. And I'm just going to say, give me ideas based on the article ideas. And then all I have to do is hit generate, and it's going to give me 20 articles using the formula of Dan Kennedy, one of the greatest copywriters. He published the what you need to do to write great article headlines. So that's already built into it. And it's going to give you 20 different, right now it's reading all the different files in there. And then it's going to give me 20 different article ideas based upon the books that I've put in there, based upon all of the ideas. So I really encourage you right here to use this one, the headlines creator, the LinkedIn article writer, because after you get the headlines that you want, you just tell it, all right, then write me an article, and you can write a long form article in there, or you can do the post writer that you can put into the main area. There's actually an article section within LinkedIn, and I do 2 to 3 long form articles per month, but then I post almost every single weekday in the post writer. So I do anywhere from 25 to 30 posts per week now, and it's making a difference, even though there's not thousands of people that are watching that compared to some of my other channels. So I would rather have 150 views on LinkedIn than my 15,000 views that I get on LinkedIn, that I get on Instagram. It's just a big, big difference with it. So you can see it's already given me, because I've trained my avatar. Let's see the suggestions that it gave me. It said, let's see, unlock your team's productivity, 7 habits of top leaders, the costly mistake your marketing strategy is making, skyrocket your sales, 5 proven strategies. So I'm just going to pick one of them. I'm going to skip to right here to the post writer, because those are the shorter ones. And I'm just going to grab one right here, put that one in there. Summary, I'm going to put the summary in there. Boom. Number of, let's do 1,500 characters. Article tone and styles, I'm just going to say see my avatar. But this is not the, by the way, this is not the avatar that I use to write. I use Jeffery AI, so it may be a little bit more boring. I'm just going to put Jeffery Boyle and CEO, company overview, see my avatar, company overview. I'll just copy that, see my avatar, and then it's given me a suggested keyword for this one, which will be used with 1 to 2% keyword density for YouTube, or for YouTube descriptions, for LinkedIn SEO articles, or even your WordPress topic. Examples of a related story, I'm going to say see my avatar, because I put a bunch of those in there. And then, yeah, I'm going to have it use emojis, because it's going to put in numbered responses and stuff like that. And it's also even going to give me a meta description that I could, oh, not for this one, that's for the article. But for the articles, it'll even give you a meta description that will work with WordPress. So there's no excuse not to write an article every single weekday inside of LinkedIn, and even on the weekends if you want to put them in to be posted later. The next one in says engage with your network. You can use this template right here, engaging LinkedIn responses to posts. And all you got to do is put the post inside of there, and it will give you an engaging response to be able to then start to comment on other people's posts and inside their groups. If you do this for a period, even if you're a brand new account, it should bring your score up above 65 plus within a couple months. At that point, you're going to be okay to subscribe to Sales Navigator. Before that, you're going to have to be really careful because you can't send very many emails without getting in trouble. Okay. But if you do all of what I just showed you for a period, probably a couple months, you're going to get that score up above 65. You're going to be networking with people. And now you can use your InMail strategically to send out responses. And a different call, I'll show you how you can do InMail. It's super simple. But from there, you continue to manage your SSI score. I'm going to get mine above 80. And I'm going to do it as quickly as possible by continuing to improve and watch how my score is improving. Inside of the follow up effectively, that's the same thing within Sales Navigator, a different call, but constantly looking at your score, seeing how you're doing, seeing how people are responding to your articles, and uh, and right there, I feel like you've gone to LinkedIn jail. Um, no, this is LinkedIn paradise right here, right? Is because now I'm really starting to get it. And look, and in the end, you experiment and optimize. I want you guys to know that there's so many ways to do well. And right now, there's so few people because it's quite complex that are taking advantage of LinkedIn. Only 1 to 3% of the billion subscribers are effectively publishing on LinkedIn. And there's studies that show 4 out of the 80%, 4 out of 5, 80% of the people on LinkedIn are decision makers. If you do anything that is B2B, it should be your mission in life, the same way as mine, is to start to take advantage of this because I've already seen it dramatically lower my advertising costs and substantially increase the qualification of my target market. So anybody that wants this, send me a DM. I'll give you this list, and I really hope not only are you wanting to, of course, go viral on the other channels, helping people with your awe, your anger, your amusement, and the things that you're doing, but it's really about adding value. And I really encourage you every single week to watch that video on Tuesday as we put it out, and come with not just your suggestions for this mastermind group, but also to help us all get better together as we go through this. So send me a DM if this is something that you want. I'm happy to provide it to you, but I just continue to get better and better for a guy that, as Jillian said, was not very serious about it too long ago. So thank you so much for pushing me and prodding me, and now I'm a believer. And I guess it takes spending too much cash or making some cash for me to realize, oh my goodness, there's good people on LinkedIn, and they really are perfect for the offer that I have. With that, I would love your comments. I'd love your questions, anything as it relates to this or what we did on the newsletter, or anything that you're finding within the Bemodo, or any marketing question that you have. Let's have it. Love the comments. Where are we at this week, my friends? All
So
right.
you're sending this to us, this,
Just send me a DM, Heidi, on WhatsApp.
okay.
I guess that's not a DM. Just send me a message, and anything that I have forgotten to send you, I will do
Okay.
so. And a lot of you guys are either in the mastermind on WhatsApp, or you have an individual channel with me. Anything that you need with this, I'm happy to send it to you. And just ask for those 12 steps for
Yeah.
LinkedIn.
I've been posting a lot lately. I haven't posted really kind of ever, but I've been trying to be consistent and creating them in Bemodo and posting them. And so far, they're just kind of all about marketing and creating consistent content and all the stuff that I don't do. But and I even make a joke because I post them in marketing ROI in our business, and then I repost them a couple of days later in my on my personal with a little message like going, oh, here's an article about this, and if I was following my own instructions, I would have posted this 2 days ago, or something like that. I'm trying to make it a little, a little bit of humor to my reposting. And my score, I never even knew to look for that, is 65. So, but and Jim hasn't been doing that, and he just checked his, and his is 50. So,
Well,
oh, 60. I think he said 50. Oh, he's 60.
you
Okay, but
both
he
are
hasn't been
in
posting anything.
you are both in the lower end of where you should be, but
Right.
it's not extraordinarily difficult to get it up. Okay, so uh, if you follow even just those 12 steps, you're going to see within a couple months you're going to. It's not like a credit score where it takes 7 years to repair your credit score. This is the kind of thing that the higher it is, the more it will loosen up on those in mail messages if you have the sales navigator. Here's something to keep in mind too. I've shared this in the past of LinkedIn. Once again, I've told you I've been listening to videos. I've been putting them into Bemodo. I have a special avatar that analyzes things for LinkedIn for me. I'll take videos off of YouTube, these experts, and I'll put this hour and a half video in script into Bemodo, and I'll say, give me the most important points. I got this from a big guy that has, I think, a couple million followers, and every time he posts anything, a million people love it. And so he said that this is how he sees the actions on LinkedIn to be able to give you, the to be able to help your posts and your articles to be able to put in front of more people. Shares, 4 points. So if you have a group, and I would even encourage you, those of you who are in the Bemodo AI mastermind on WhatsApp, when you post something, this is for all of you that are on the mastermind in LinkedIn, put it inside that mastermind on WhatsApp. And look, if a person comments on it, it increases the chances of it being shown to people outside your network. If a person likes it, it's the lowest. But if you get somebody to share it, exactly what you just said, I wouldn't wait a couple days. I'd do it almost immediately. And I would tell you, I would have Jim share your article to his
But
network.
they said he share it because I told him to share it from our marketing ROI page, not from my page. And so should if I'm sharing it from marketing ROI, should he
He should share
share
it
it
from
from
his
my page?
personal, no, from his personal account.
No, to his personal but he would be sharing the marketing ROI original article, not my sharing it from.
Correct. Yeah. So he would take the
Okay,
original article and then he would share it from his
right,
account also.
right.
So,
And so that's what I've been encouraging him to do.
yep.
That we're not I'm not getting a lot of any comment. And every one of them at the end, I have a hey, what do you think, or like how do you currently do this, or or something encouraging them to interact, but nobody's.
Join the club. Look, and I was really disappointed at the beginning, and that's why I poo-pooed LinkedIn. I was like, no one's participating. If I want to feel good about myself, I post on Instagram and I get all kinds of people I don't know saying these wonderful things. Occasionally they
Yeah,
say terrible things about me. YouTube, same thing. Occasionally I get some people saying horrible things about me. But if I want to get comments, heck, I'll go to Instagram and man, I'll get some comments, but I'm not getting business. So I'm getting very little interaction. And that's what I'm telling you. I'm here to not just improve my score, but I'm here to get business. And the fact is that what I'm finding is on the email, and Jillian, you do a lot of things on here. You can contradict me if you like. It doesn't matter because my email, I'm getting right to the decision maker. And I find that many of them, because if you have Sales Navigator, you can see that they're going to your profile. They're checking out my profile before they respond to me. And so on my profile, they're seeing all this content that I have on here. And hardly anybody is an influencer on, unless you're Layla Hermosi or your Brene Brown or somebody like that. almost nobody gets comments on theirs, so it doesn't matter. But if you're filling this up, of course, eventually you may strike gold and you may get a bunch of things on there. But I do it a lot for credibility, and it's not impacting my prospecting using the sales navigator. Not at all.
Do you recommend like a 20-second video in a social media post to get attention?
LinkedIn is
Would
giving
that
a
be better
whole
than
bunch of it's giving you I think it's on here creating purposeful posts. This was like 2 months ago, and I feel like it was ancient on how much I've improved, Jim, since then. But everybody that if you look online of the top people, they're saying on LinkedIn, just like every other one of the platforms, do videos. Right now, LinkedIn is giving extra bonus coverage for people that do videos. So my answer is whenever you can do videos, do videos. I would do them both.
okay?
So that's not my advice. And I am this guy delivering the message for a person that's going hardcore into educating myself on LinkedIn. And it should make Jillian happy because she was way ahead of me by really encourage you to do it. And it is so easy once you start to understand it's not easy. LinkedIn is comprehensive. But once you start understanding some of these things, the more you can get people to share, even if they're not sharing, keep telling them to share it. And until then, you share Jim's and shares yours. And those of you who are on the WhatsApp group, share it with each other. And that's why we're here to lift each other up and improve each other in this process. So strongly encourage you to do that. Any other
Okay.
questions? Awesome. Well, I really encourage you to do it. If you want this list, send me a note on WhatsApp, and I'll get you this. I'll share this with you. And we're here to go viral, of course, but more than anything, we're here to make money. And if it sounds like I've been pounding on LinkedIn lately, is because it works. X, we are getting some nice things that the strategies are strangely similar from X to LinkedIn. It's just that X moves at 1,000 miles per hour and you can't catch your breath at times. LinkedIn is this strolling, meandering stream that takes stops and yeah, it, whereas whereas X has this strong undercurrent that's constantly pulling you under and you can't catch up to. But David, who's working a lot of our X strategy, he has been getting appointments with similar approaches on that. But it's just such a easy platform to understand compared to the vast amounts of information you have to learn with LinkedIn. So I encourage you to learn this, to delve deep into it, and check out your score. And you'll see that if you implement these, it's just going to continue to get you up there to that wonderful 80. That's my goal. I'll share it with you guys as I continue to get better. But thanks for being on. We're here to help you. Love that you're using Bemodo. Love that you're sending your insights and we're constantly make it better. Thanks for being on this week. Bye bye.